starts. Okay, cool. All right.
1 second, 1 second. I don't understand why I don't save. Salva, salva, salva con nome. Sfoglia. Okay, now I shared you. I put in.
So Giacomo, where are you located? You're in Ontario?
Yeah, I'm in Toronto, yeah. Me and Joel are in Toronto. Yeah.
Joel's in Ontario too?
Yeah, we're even living next door.
Exactly.
Oh, really?
Both in Toronto.
Where are you guys listening from?
In Humber Bay.
Glielo devo mandare I send you by mail because not possible to share it on the. I don't have the shared here. Non riesco. Perché non riesco altro?
Shop floor at vinyltek.ca or .com, sorry.
Va bene anche così, Domenico, come gliel'hai mandata via email va bene, solo stavo verificando se gli hai mandato...
No, ora gli mando il Word, ora glielo mando.
Ah, ok.
Ok, ora mandato. Ok, you check your email.
Yeah, checking right now. Okay, inbox. Not yet.
Not yet?
No, it's slow. I wonder, like, you could just cut and paste into this box though. Like, you could type anything.
Don't have a possibility. Is not possible to put in this box. I don't know why. I try to plug and play here or found the other shop. In this email. You want in this email different? Okay.
Oh yeah, some people in this chat are outside your org. It's possible.
Okay. Send you again in this mail. Okay, 1 second.
Easiest. I'll check my email anyways.
Okay, try now again.
Okay.
No, questo. Quest'altro, questo. Ok. You see my screen?
I see it. Yeah. Okay.
You receive a file? You receive a file too?
No, no file. Not yet, anyway. No, nothing. Box. That's kind of weird. Okay. No email. Anyway. Well, whatever. We could do our thing. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Here, config you need because it's the word the keyword for this row.
Oh, yeah. Also, this guys, I would say bye because this is like Joel technical things for the CLI file. Not.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys enjoy this part.
We will. Thank you so much.
Okay. Ciao Joel. Ciao Domenico.
Ciao.
Ciao Dom. Ciao.
See ya.
Okay, this is the barcode, and you need barcode.
Okay. So
this is the profile code, and you need.
Okay, so the barcode is. Why do I need the barcode? Just because aren't we going to be printing the barcode?
Non ho
Chiede
capito.
come mai ha bisogno del barcode.
Because each profile have a identifier for different profile, because the machine, when you cutting, you have and list, completely list with different customer or different window, and the machine cutting, because you have the optimization of the list, and you have the mixed this piece, and for each profile you need the barcode, because when you go in the other phase for welding or for assembling the window, you know which piece you take. You don't have in continuous the profile for have one square or one windows. For optimization of the list, you need to mix it for optimization of the bar, and each profile need the identification, and normally the identification is a one barcode, one number, and normally the first character are the name of the file. Normally is the name of the file or the ordered, the name of the order, the code of ordered.
Okay, so because I was under the impression that when I send you the file and then you cut and process it, and then your printer prints out the label with the barcode, like that label that I sent you, and then
Yes.
we stick that on there.
Yes. Yes.
That's
And
correct.
so what isn't that going to be duplicated in the label ID?
Yes, you need in the label and in the CLF file. Yes, you will need the same code in the CLF file and in the LA1 file for the label. Yes.
Okay. So
Okay.
because on the welder it's the same thing. I think I haven't
Yes.
looked at this in a little while, but the first little bit is like the batch or something, and then the next bit is the instance of the window inside that file.
Exactly. Yes, correct.
Okay, but like the whole process starts with the processor. So I'm just going to take a big bar, like a 30-foot long bar, however long it is, stick it on the rail, and then it feeds it in. And then this machine looks at the first file, whatever the first CFL block that it's going to cut, and then it's going to cut it, and then I put the barcode on it. So where is that? Okay, so that.
Non ho capito.
Sto aspettando che finisca il suo ragionamento, perché sta un po'
Okay.
pensando
Sta
velocemente.
ragionando. Ok.
Sì.
So the config, so this is the barcode. And what do you do with that number internally with the machine?
Chiede che cosa facciamo con quel numero in particolare.
No, dal punto di vista della macchina è un numero e basta che noi stampiamo, e serve a loro per ricostruire la finestra, il quadrato, per identificare ogni singolo pezzo, perché ogni singolo pezzo ora è diverso, destro, da sinistra, sotto e sopra, sono tutti diversi e sono diversi per tutte le finestre, perché ci sono lavorazioni.
So the machine, for the machine, that number is just a number, but for you guys, is that specific number will be part of the square, right? So it will be maybe the top, the bottom, the left, right. So that's it's fundamental for the machine, for the other process, for the welding, for example, to have a complete window.
So it's
Because
just
I think-
information for you.
Yeah.
So that's just it could be anything. I could put garbage.
It could be anything in what you mean. It could be anything in what sense?
Like does it have to be alpha? I guess as long as it's a number, it doesn't really matter what it is, right? As far as
It's
you're concerned.
It's a number, yes, that eventually will have a very specific meaning because it's going to be part of the window.
Yeah, further on. But
Exactly.
you don't use that to move tools around or to
No.
set the machine.
No.
It's just information for us.
Information for you guys, yeah, of course. And
Yeah.
actually, it does mean something to the machine because obviously it's going to be part of the optimization. So that's why it's very important.
Okay. So if as far as it's going to be part of the optimization, and then but if we don't optimize, that thing doesn't. So the idea is that I give you a block of text, you run it through your optimization, which scrambles them, and then when you print out the label, then it goes into the right boxes so that people can put it back together again, right? But this is okay. So I don't understand why it has to be up there and not just in the label ID. You know what I mean? Like, because as far as I'm concerned, every single piece is going to get a label, because
every piece is going to get a label. Yes, in order then after to have to put it together, right? Otherwise, you cannot recognize the pieces.
Yeah. So this has to do. So if I print a label on every single bar, does it matter what I put up top?
Say that again. If you print a label in every bar,
Yeah.
every cut bar, you're saying?
Yeah. So if every single bar gets a label, then it really doesn't matter what I put up in that first block, because the label will have what it is and where it should go.
The label will be after you
But
cut.
sorry. It's important to have the barcode in this, because on display you see this barcode, and if your operator make error to put the label on the profile, he know, okay, this is profile number 1 is put here. This is another profile number 2 put here. This is as a matching between CLF file and label file. Is matching for you have recognize if you have some problem. You have some just one label is not printing correct. You need reprinting. Okay, I need reprinting the label number 1. Go in this file. You found this code and printing. You have the matching between file, cutting file, and label file. This is matching. In this way, the operator understanding if need to make some matching if you have the error.
Okay, all right. So, is that strictly numbers, or can it be letters as well?
No, a letter is well too. For us, not important.
Okay, because for us, if you look at the label that I sent you, it says it has a work order number, and then it has 1 of 1 or 1 of 2 or something like that. So it has both letters and numbers in there.
No problem.
So,
no problem. For us, not important. For us, important we have the same barcode, letter, number, or what you want, the same here in CLF and the same in the LA1. If you want a number.
So that number never is shown as a barcode. That's just the number that. So that's only a number that will be a number on the screen, but it will be a barcode on the label.
No.
That's not going to be. That's going to be the identifier, right? It doesn't have to be a barcode in the config line.
Non riesco a capire.
Sì, mi sta confondendo anche a me. In realtà lui mi sta chiedendo se, visto che tu hai appena detto che possono essere sia lettere che numeri, no? Può essere anche mescolato insieme. Poi dopo questo, quando va stampato, non si rifletterà esattamente come lettere e numeri, ma come un barcode soltanto numerico.
Sì, ma sotto gli scriviamo sempre il numero. Sotto il barcode ogni volta c'è scritto anche il numero e anche le lettere in questo caso.
But yes, so you will have both. If you, let's say, like you said, you combine the letters and the number, then eventually the barcode will have that as well.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking that, but in the config line, that first character out of that config line, is it the operator can't read barcode, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be that number exactly on the screen, right?
Yes, this is an example. Yes, it's going to be like that.
Yeah, so it's never going to be a barcode on the screen.
Barcode as
like it's never going to be the lines on the screen.
Oh,
it's always going to
okay. No. It's going to be those numbers. That number is reflected as a
You
barcode.
have you have a barcode, and under you have the number or the letter. If you want here have the letter, is the same for
So
us.
you just basically want to have that first item match whatever is underneath the barcode on the label.
Deve combaciare ovviamente il numero che c'è sotto il barcode con il barcode.
Sì, sì, sì.
It's gonna be the same, yes.
Sì,
Okay,
you send us this number, and the printing label automatically change in the barcode, and writing barcode and the number.
Okay. So I could put whatever I want in there if I wanted to confuse everybody.
You can.
Yeah. So it makes no difference there. Okay, I get it. So it's just a way so that you could say this my label died because it didn't come out of the printer, it ran out, whatever. Which label do I want to print? So then there's probably some kind of an interface that says reprint label number, whatever that barcode or whatever that code matches.
Yes,
Okay.
barcode and number is gonna match.
Yeah. So it's just a number it's the number that gets turned into a barcode on the label.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, all right. Sorry it takes so long, but I don't want to get confused.
Okay,
Okay, so
no problem.
Okay, so the next block.
The next is the profile code. This is profile code.
So that is important, right? Because that's
yes,
what you're
very, very important.
Okay, profile code. So that's how,
The next is the length of the piece in 0.1 millimeter.
Does that matter?
The length of the piece in 0.1 millimeter, in tens of millimeters.
No, yeah, okay. But I'm assuming that we're going to put full bars on there all the time.
No, this is the length of the piece, the cutting piece.
Cutting piece.
The length of the bars is here.
Okay.
This is
so,
the length of the piece, which length you want the piece cutting.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Length of the cut itself. Okay.
Okay. The next is the quantity, but this is a fixed one because each piece is different of the other piece, and this is quantity, but normally is a fixed one.
So it's just a constant. Don't worry about it. Okay. Just put a 1. Have you ever seen more than 1 anywhere else, or it doesn't matter?
Capita che ci sia più di un valore, sempre uno, costante. Uno è it's just one, yeah.
1 period, done.
One.
And then you got the color.
The color is we need the color, yes, because if you have different colors inside the same list, we divide white from black, from red, from the other color.
Okay. So that's for optimization, color.
Optimization.
Yes.
Optimization. Okay.
And the other is N. This is for a new bar. I need this just N, but need only when you have the new bar, because you have some, for example, I have another block from here, the same of this, where you don't have N because use the same bars and don't have the length of the bars. Use the same, this is a 2 different block. And you put N here, but here don't put nothing until we need the other bar, the new bar.
Okay, so let's just go through that. So we got these big long racks of the vinyl, and then the operator grabs one, puts it on there. That's a new bar, right?
Yes.
So new equals full length, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Why have that at all?
Sorry?
Like, what's the purpose of it? Why do you have to know the length of the bar? Like, if it's a new bar, like the option is to put a piece of scrap on there?
Hai capito, Domenico? Sta chiedendo a che scopo è mettere il valore della lunghezza della barra, se la barra è nuova, ma le barre possono avere lunghezze diverse.
Esatto.
Quindi, yeah, the bar can have different lengths. New bar can have different lengths, so that's the reason why we specific the length of the bar.
Okay, so we're pretty much have everything, all the vinyl is the same length here.
No.
Oh,
So all the new bars are the same length as far as I know.
No. For example, in Europe, we have 6 meters, 6 meter and a half. We have 5 meter, depends of the type of the profile. For example, in Europe, for the window, we have the profile, the new bar length 6 meter. For the door, we have a 6 meter and a half. For the sliding, we have 4 meter, depends. If you have, for you, the length bar is fixed, you put fixed value here, no problem. But
So
I'm not sure you have all type of bar, all the same length. I'm not
Pretty
sure.
much. Yeah. I see them, they're all the same, right?
no.
So
If you have all time the same, for you is constant and put this value.
So for my constant, do I put N in the length in millimeters, obviously?
In the millimeter, in 0.1, in tenths of millimeter, all time in tenths millimeter.
So my constant will be N semicolon and then the standard length of the bar.
Yes.
So it's always the same for me.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And then we have a bunch.
The next, sorry?
Yeah, then we have a bunch of other spaces after the length of the bar.
Mm-hmm.
After the year, you put space 2 times the space, because this is optional, because the first is the length of the rest bar, but not need the first. This. The second is the rest label. One customer want from us rest label printing here in different way. For you, you put semicomma, semicomma, and go.
So
and
if I want to,
from this is the last important field. You put here all time semicolon, semicolon, and semicolon to here, because this is the name of the operator, not used. And here, this the last, you take out. This is optional. Optional, totally optional, is possible to finish here. You finish here. This is for you, delete. I put just this. This is late. Here, this is empty too. Empty too. Okay. You have, this is very important, are this configuration, barcode, profile code, length of the piece, cut length, quantity fix 1, color, N for new bar, and the length of the new bar. And you put 1, 2, and 3 times the semicolon without nothing.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay.
All right.
The next rule is important for you, for the operator. This is all information.
Okay.
For the machine, this is not important. But if you want this rule, don't put.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
But it's better for you. For example, I have this information: is the frame bottom, the customer, the order, the customer. I think it's better you have this information because we show on the screen of the PC.
Okay, so if we're gonna do optimization, then I'm gonna have to put the bin number in there, right? So, yeah, the download piece box. That's where you put the piece, right?
This is okay. This is okay. The word, the keyword is info. Download box. If you want put where you put this piece cutting in, if you have a trolley with the different position, if you want, you put this, and we show on the screen This is the download, the load. No, this is a load, where you put the new bar, load bar. Box.
Okay, so the location of the profile, of the new
Exactly.
profile.
Yes.
Of,
The
and we know
next
where that-
is where you put the cutting piece, the location for the cutting piece, cutted
Yeah, so-
piece.
So that would be my bin number.
Bin
Okay.
number. Okay.
Yeah.
Here you have a space because this is for us is the box where you put the rest bar. But
Okay.
I think don't
The
use
scrap location.
scrap location. Yes.
Okay. All right. Frame right is just what part of the square it is.
Yes. Yes. This is just described for the operator.
Which is duplicated on the label, right? Probably.
Yes. Yes. If you put yes, you put this. This is a. You have this information on the screen and on the label too. This is important for make the matching. This is the order, or batch or what you want. And this is the customer name.
Custom name. Okay. All right.
Okay. Lab ID row is not important.
Isn't that, it does not match to the label?
No, because for the match, you have 2 ways for matching with the label. The first that we want to use is the first blocks on the CLF1 is the first block in the LA1. The second block in the, and this is the faster way for matching label and cutting. Piece cutting is for us is the better way. If you have this possibility in your software, the first block of the cutting is the first block of the label. You don't use this rule.
Okay, so let's say I want to. Okay, right now we put one label per pair. Okay.
One label.
So one label for 2 pieces.
No. You put one label for 1 piece for each piece.
So okay. So
you put.
So I leave that out.
Sorry.
So I don't need to have that field in there. So if I have 10 CFL blocks and I have 10 LA1 blocks, then you just go bang, 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 right? You just go into sequence.
Yes.
So
exactly.
So I don't need to give you a lab label ID.
Yes.
In that, so I can omit that.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
If you work in this way, the same synchronizate first, second, you don't need this rule. If you want, for example, first piece cutting, but you want printing the second label, in this case, you put here label number 2. If you want this, but it's not a good idea. Normally, it's better you put directly. You have the sequence. And in this case, this is not need.
Okay. So omit. If synchronized. Okay, that's good.
Win info is option 2. Is not need.
Now, okay, so that win info, if I omit it, it's going to leave blanks on the PC screen, right? Where would that show up?
No, this is not show. This is only one test from one customer. We want to use only CLF file for welding too, but it's not a good idea because for the welding file, we have the other protocol, weld file, because we have more information, and just this information not enough for welding the piece. And we put, but only for one customer, but normally don't use.
Okay, no, don't care.
You don't use, you delete, not put nothing.
Okay. For welding, so omit. Okay, that's good. It's getting simpler all the time. Okay.
So okay, this is the left cutting.
That's the leading edge? That's the first one? This one?
Yes, this is the first one. You put to 135.0. This is in the tenths of the millimeter, in tenths of angle of degree.
So,
and the right cutting.
okay, so now the profile isn't always like this, right? Because you have to put the profile whatever angle that fits the push, the hold downs, right? So I don't have to figure out which way the profile sits for that to be 90 degrees.
No, you the first cutting all time put this value, and the second time you put 19 is 19 or 45.
Okay, so those are basically constants for me. It'll always be that, because the way you orient the profile, right? Because if let's say this is the bottom of the profile, so you go like this, but then if you put the profile this way, you know, they'll cut it like this, right?
Now our machine, the cutting, you put the profile and cutting from the bottom, around in the one way, the other way. The blade arrive from the bottom.
So it's always flat.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Reinforcement.
No. Okay. This is left side. This is the cutting, and you put fix this one more comma, because this is for the other special machine, but not use. Normally you put just one semi-comma here and without information. This is for the other special machine, but not for your machine.
Love it.
Okay. For the right cutting is the same.
Okay.
And this is not used. This is to the special machine too. Yes, this is the special machine too. Not need.
So omit, right?
Sorry?
Yes. Sì, lo può mettere quello.
Omettere, sì. Res formats 2, because this is for the machine, we have the download system with the dynamic table where you have the display with the reinforcement, but on your case not need this rule.
Omit, yeah.
And display 2 not need, because we have another special machine, we have a 2 display on the download table, and
we don't
not
have
need.
We didn't buy it. We don't have the display on the table.
No, you don't have the display on the table, because it's a special table for connecting two machines together. Because in Europe is used more to put the inside the profile, the steel, and you have and connect between two machines. The cutting center, you have the table, dynamic table, where you put inside the profile the steel, and have the other machine where you put the screw. This is only for connection. In your machine, you have just a download table. The operator puts the label down, put the label and take out. Not have this connection between two machines. If in the future you buy this machine, we put this new rule. But for moment, not necessary.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. Now here start the fabrication, the macro. The fab is the main, the keyword for fabrication.
Yeah.
The other is the macro name.
Okay, so I have a question about the macro itself. Okay, so let's say I want to cut an oval, right? You know, like just that slot you were talking about for the night lock, which is basically just a small diameter and then a small diameter, like a rectangle with that. Okay, so let's say we do fab night lock, then what do I have to tell it? Like there's obviously going to be the same type of operation on different types of profiles. So I might have a night lock on one profile, and then I'll have the same operation on a different type of profile. Like say one profile has that edge so that it can go over the window. Like if it's like it's a renovation flange, then it has that flange on the outside. And then I'll have the same window that's for new construction that doesn't have that flange, right? But it's the same operation on both. So do you have a macro for the one that has that extra flange, and then you have that another macro that doesn't have that flange?
The macro is the same, but the profile is different. The profile is different. You have
Okay.
the profile name is different. And in this case, the macro have the same name, but we make the fabrication on the machine put in different position on the profile. You put this information from, you need one lock from the bottom to 1 meter, and you put 1 meter. You want the drainage to 100 millimeter from the start of the profile, another to 200 millimeter. You put this information. And how the macro is made on the profile, make on the machine. For this, we need the information, take the information from your colleague, how make the macro. Because we make the macro on the machine, you send me only the position in depends of the length of the windows, the length of the piece.
So on the top of the file, I give you the profile number. So do you take the profile number and the macro name to figure out where to put it?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so you combine that information. I don't have to give you a separate thing for the same operation on two different profiles.
No, on two profile is the same name, and I make different macro, depends of the name of the profile, yes.
So you make different macro names? So
no, you put the same macro name for different profile.
Oh, and you figure out where to put it.
Yes.
Okay. So you combine profile number and macro name to locate. Okay, all right. Now let's go through the rest of how I place it.
And this is the position in tenths of millimeter.
Yeah. In X?
Yes. In the profile, the length of the profile.
Okay. So that's it? That's all I have to do? I don't have to go this and then in? So I only have to give the X?
Beh, X è la posizione del profilo, quindi sì, è giusto quello che sto dicendo.
Sì.
Yeah, that's correct. Along the profile. That's the position along the profile.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then your macro knows how to move in all the other axes, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Because I saw in the spec, it said keyhole and it had like a diameter and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I go, I do nothing like that.
You have this, we give us only these parts. 1 second. You give this position X on the profile, and Z and Y we put on the machine. You don't give these two information, but just this information.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's so good. Very easy. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So how many macros have you made for this machine for us so far? Like you have a general macro, let's say that that night lock, we'll call that macro 1. Now, inside your machine, you obviously going to have to know the placement of that based on the profile name. So how many macros do you have for us that have you made?
I don't know how many in this moment. I have this file. I send you this file. I have this file. This file is the macro that we have for you. 1 second. On this file I send you, and this is all macro that you give me.
Yeah.
This not too much. for me. You have this, 1 second, here. You have, this is macro. This is the name of the macro. For this profile, you have only these this macro. For this profile, you have just only these 2.
Yeah.
For this macro, yeah. And you see, in this case, internal, this is DRN external.
Drain internal,
From
drain
this
external.
profile is make here. And he call in the same way, the name is the same, but put in different position. I make on the machine this difference. And you give us only the long of the profile.
Okay, so
you have,
so that name drain external is for everything.
Everything, yes, depends of this file. You see in this file. In this file, we calling this, for example, here have internal drainage, but don't have external because make in with punch. And we have the fixed meat.
So let's assume that all our drain holes are the same tool. So I just give you the name drain and an X location, and then you figure out where to position your tool based on the profile in the CFL header.
Yes.
So I only have one name
Yes.
for everything in Vinyltek for a drain.
Yes.
Oh, so good, so good. All right. All right. I think we got to the bottom of it. I think that's really all I need. I'd like to have another meeting with the label file later.
Yes,
I don't
yes,
want to.
yes.
That's a little too much.
For me, the first step now, because now we finish, because you repeat all time the same macro, the fab and the other macro. You have finished here. Yes.
So if I give you 5 macros, then I don't have to give it in any order. Like, let's say I got a little bit at the front, a little bit at the back, but I give you the back one first and then the front one later. Does that mean that your machine figures out which way to do it in order?
No,
Important.
not important. Not important. You put in like here. Is in this case is in order. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you put here this way.
Yeah.
Not important. The machine optimization and making in the order. No, not important. This if you put in the order, you put in different order the machine working. Is just better if you possible put in the order for the operator if need to check have some problem, and for operator is more easy if you make a file in this way in the correct order, because if need to check after this, and this is easy for operator. For the machine, not important. If you put in this way, the machine working too, without problem.
Oh really? Yeah, I can just scramble
Yes.
it. Okay, yeah, I get you. Okay, yeah, fabulous. I think I have a good idea.
Okay. For a moment, I think it's better. You working on this file. You send just some test file, and we check together. And if need more meeting, we make together. But it's better you working on this file, and for LA1 make in the future the other meeting.
Yeah. Now I have to figure out how to stop this thing and then save this recording. That's my problem here. I've never done it.
I'm sure once you stop it, it will save it. You won't see it right away. It will tell you when it's available for you to.
Yes, when you make stop, he indicate you where you want to save.
Okay, so when I leave the meeting, it'll just say, okay, I'm preparing the recording for you.
Exactly. It won't be right away, but it will be available.
Because I don't want to lose. This is very important for me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. I got a really good understanding of the file now.
Okay.
That's good.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Talk to you guys later.
Ok.
Ciao. Ciao. Bye.
Ciao. Domenico, mi sa che anche tu ti lascio che
sì,
si è fatto
sono
tardi
le 8,
per te.
sono le 8,
sì.
devo cenare. C'è mia moglie che mi gira intorno che vuole mangiare.
Immagino.
Fra un po' mi mangia. Va bene, dai, ci sentiamo un'altra volta noi.
Serata.
Grazie. Ciao.
Ciao.